I think it's precisely 4 o'clock, so I think it's time to start. First of all, thanks to all the people connected. The webinar will be in English, and it will be me talking, Francesco Castellano, and the founder of Tondo, and with me there is Alessandro Innocenti, and Denisa Moldovan. They can probably briefly introduce themselves after when they speak. Regarding today's session, so it will be the first part will be introducing a little bit the tools, the framework that we use to develop the tool, why to use the tools, and what are the reasons to measure circularity. And then we will show briefly, we will do a demo of each tool, shortly explaining how they are working, and also explaining how to access the tool. So let me start quickly on the topics. So of course, the tools are helping to measure circular economy. It's called a new model, probably it's actually kind of, I would say, a well-defined model that is trying to define a new way to operate that is a little bit different from the current linear model. And it's mainly based on 3 pillars based on the Alessandro Foundation. So eliminate waste, circulate, favoring the circulation of products and material, and favoring the regeneration of nature. As you can see, these 3 concepts are a little bit very high level, and more companies are defining themselves circular. But I think what is really important, as it is now, is really to start measuring what is circularity. So measuring circularity can be done at different levels. You can do it at micro level, that can be an individual organization or a product. It can be a meso level, that is an aggregation of organization, or it can be a macro level, it can be a city, region, nation, or entire global economy. A very simple, basic way, and probably the most common indicator to measure circularity is the circular material use rate. It is simply the ratio between the use of recycled material and the total material used in a system. And so there are many different studies that simply using these indicators, like the Circularity Gap report that came out a few months ago, saying that the world, at the global level, the world is circular 7.2. Or there are analyses that in Italy is circular around 20%, or at European level, we are around 13%. While this is a very basic and important analysis that can be done in order to understand how a system is circular, in order to really improve on the path to circular economy, more and more methodology have increased the number of indicators. And on top of this, different indicators might become more relevant in order to understand the performance of a specific system. So what is happening more and more is that measuring circularity will become, while at the moment probably just a few organizations and few entities and systems are doing it, I think will become more and more reality, more and more common. So, and this is also linked to the fact that more organizations like the Alessandro Foundation, Circular Economy, WUBI, CSD, they develop tools and frameworks that are, I think, now kind of solid, and that are also kind of linked to the new Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive. And this is why also Tondo decided to develop its own 3 tools, one at the product level, one at company level, and one at city level, all leveraging, I would say, recognized methodologies without inventing something new, even though now we are considering of creating an additional tool at company level, because we saw few gaps, what is still missing to measure circularity in the existing methodologies. I want to shortly talk about the Corporate and Social Responsibility Directive and what is happening with the new directive. It will become more and more relevant in order to understand the use of resources, use by a specific company, the specific process implemented, the performance of company in terms of circular economy, and so measuring the inflows and the outflow, but also the financial impact, also the investments that are done by the companies in circular economy. Now I will leave the talk to Alessandro Innocenti that will shortly introduce the tool of product and how we built it up.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Francesco, for the introduction. I'm Alessandro Innocenti. I'm a researcher and I'm working around in Germany in a center for research on hydrogen and solar energy, but actually working on battery. Funny choice of the name for the center. And I have a PhD in chemistry that I took here in Germany too. But as formation, I'm an engineer. I studied at the Politecnico di Milano in energy engineering, and that's how I know Francesco. We met at that time, and I'm collaborating with Tondo since several years. And what I want to show you today, it's these tools that we developed, some of the ones, specifically one for the product and one for the company level. And starting with the product, so what we are using here what we use to develop this tool for the product measurement of the circularity, we based ourselves on the Ellen MacArthur Foundation methodology, which is quite established since several years. And with this is basically a balance. We take into account what are the materials that are needed to build a product. Then we also understand which are the outputs that are coming from the material in terms of waste, in terms of the end of life, and then we make a balance and we understand how much of virgin materials were used and how much was the reused or recycled material. And also we take into account things like the cycle life and how much it was used, this product, compared to standard products. So it's really a tool that is focused on the single product, this could be a single product, a yearly production of a certain product. And we take into account, as you see here, not only really the mass of the material, not only what we can touch about the product, but also other levels like the water that is being used for the production of this product. And also we introduced also the energy circularity, which is taking into account instead the type of energy that was used in different forms, and how also if the energy was renewable and or produced by the owner of the company. So we take into account several dimensions that you see here, and we have as you see, like, is a very simple balance from input and output. So it's a very simple as a concept. It's not as you will probably see later on when we show more in detail the tools. And so with the simple use of this product circularity tool, it's very easy for companies, for instance, that have data usually about how much material is used, which kind of materials are used for this product, to understand the level of circularity, at least at the very simple, at a very basic level of a certain product. So it's easy to compare different designs, for instance, try new ones. If we want to maybe go for a more sustainable product, one can already try to understand which is the level of circularity by using this very simple tool. And then we also, since we are taking into account several dimensions, like as we saw, the material, the packaging, the water, the energy, one can see which is maybe the area where there is a higher criticality from the point of view of circularity, and then focus maybe on that area to try to improve the circularity level of the product. Then this was a relatively simple tool at a product level. But what about a company? A company is much bigger than a single product. There are many things that have been taken into account. And in this way, for this reason, we cannot use the exact same methodology that we used for this tool for company level we cannot use the same one of the product. We have to take into account a more holistic, we have to use a more holistic approach. And that's why we based ourselves on a standard that has been released 1.5 years ago, which is an Italian standard, which will be also be translated at the European and maybe an ISO level soon, which sets some norms for the measurement of circularity at a company level. And this is done through a series of indicators. These indicators are covering many areas of what is a business, what is a company. So we're talking about material resources, energy, water, waste, logistics, human resources, so many areas with several levels of the indicators. We're talking about core indicators, which are the most fundamental ones that define the concept of circularity for a company, and then going towards more, let's say, specific indicators, which are still important, but maybe a company doesn't have data about all the specific indicators, so only a part of them can be calculated, and also some rewarding indicators, which are particularly are some metrics which are particularly maybe hard to measure or to achieve, but if done, they can give a higher, better result on the level of circularity. And so we need a minimum of indicators that are measured. And so the data needed for these indicators, which are also based on an input and output somehow, on a numerator and denominator, is a ratio at the end, and the result is always in a kind of percentage, or from 0 to 1. And also here, this kind of tool is important because now we don't, in comparison to the previous one, we don't only look at a single product. We're looking at a much higher, much bigger dimension. And so one company can evaluate his entire business to understand where are the critical areas regarding circularity. Without making a very, very complex balance of mass and energy about the company, but using some simple indicators that can give a picture of what is the level of the company in concerning circularity, using anyway a standard methodology that is being developed by the regulators. So thank you for your attention, and I leave now the floor to Denisa Moldovan that will introduce now the tool at the city level.
Thank you, Alessandro, and hello everyone. I'm Denisa. I have a background in systemic design and product design from Polytechnic of Turin, and I'm now working in Tondo as a systemic designer, circular systemic designing, helping in the development of projects related to circular economy, and also helping in the development of graphic representation. As you can see, the third tool concerns cities. The need to develop this tool arises because cities play a significant role in the ecological transition, addressing environmental challenges such as the climate change, biodiversity loss, and waste management. But in this case, the absence of an established framework drove us to investigate the literature and analyze different case studies of other cities. So in this context, the more relevant studies we analyzed were the article Indicators for the Circular City, written by experts from the University of Genoa and USP Pavia, and also the 87 indicators of city loops that City Loops developed. And these two studies were for us a starting point in designing our tool. Because starting from these indicators, we constructed new ones for a total of 97 indicators. Then we divided them into 9 categories, such as material and waste, energy, green construction, and so on. And we also categorize them into core indicators, which are the most significant indicators for the final calculation, but also into primary and secondary, which are important for benchmarking. In order to obtain the most comprehensive results, all core indicators and at least half of the primary indicators have to be completed. Then the graphic output of the measurement returns the circular material use rate, then a circularity index for each category, but also a table with all the results from the primary and secondary indicators analyzed, completed. This tool, there are many advantages that this tool offers. First of all, it returns a complete mapping of the territory in terms of material consumption, energy, or air emissions, but it also helps to assess the efficiency of economic operations and investigate the health of ecosystems, but also the citizens' quality of life. Therefore, by investigating the main aspects of an urban context in a holistic way, the tool helps to identify the most critical areas on which to act with the concrete projects for urban development. Thank you. Thank you all. Francesco, you can continue the presentation. Yes, I approve. Perfect.
You are muted, Francesco.
Okay, now you can hear me? Okay, perfect. Sorry, I'm going up and down. In case, so for all the tools, in any case, we are always present. And so we support in inputting the data. In general, what I've seen until now, a general knowledge on sustainability is more than enough to fill all the tools. And so, especially for the company ones, but also for the product one. And what I see is mainly interesting, what can happen coming out from the tool in order to highlight area where the company can actually really work to improve sustainability and circularity. And as already Alessandro said, there is a strong connection, depending on the tool, in the data already collected by the companies for sustainability reporting with actually what is needed to measure circularity. The price we are coming out is actually kind of low because we are more interested into collaborating and exploring the next steps that can come by using the tools. And so we give the software as let's say everyone can access for just €500, using it 5 times for each of the tool. So each tool will cost €500 each, so it will be a total of 1,500 if someone wants to take all 3 tools. Otherwise, another way is to become, in any case, part of our community. In addition to that, all the companies will have the opportunity to participate to our activities, the measurement, but we'll also organize a customized workshop soon after the measurement of the tool. I would switch now. Very quickly. I could say, what about Tondo? Tondo is divided in in Tondo Lab, which is a service design company, mainly supporting company to switch to a circular economy. All the part more regarding our events with everything. And then we have a project research company, this Tondo APS, which we mainly developed analysis and report on topics we consider interesting on circular economy, like we did with Taranto Circolare or Circular Threads. I would now switch to the real demo.
Francesco, do you still have the control? Yes.
Yeah, you can stop me?
No, we can just do this.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the platform for the tools. And we can go directly to...
Yeah, to the access.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, this is just the dashboard, the general part where, depending on which kind of product you might have, you can access a different kind of, depending on what you bought, you can access the part of the product, the company of city. As you can see, this part is still, at the moment, the part of the tool are only in Italian. We will soon switch also to the English, and in the next month. So we can probably just launch one tool just to show it quickly.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is first a general instruction on how to use the tool. And then we have a part more collecting the info about the company or the product that has been analyzed. They are mainly used also for benchmarking reasons. And also the period where you want to analyze. And then with the next step, probably you have to give, yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Perfect.
We can do this.
Perfect.
We already started this one, so.
Okay. And then, yeah, probably Alessandro, you can shortly show, probably you can open one indicator. You are muted, Alessandro.
Yeah, sorry, I was saying now I get the control back, and I can show you here. This is about the product circularity measurement. Here you see we have the 5 categories that we presented before. And for instance, here if we go at the circularity of materials, what are the inputs, which are the raw materials necessary for the production of the material. One can have, there is a kind of there is an input table to put which kind of material we're talking about. We can be aluminum, for instance, something like this, and then we can say which kind of category this material belongs, and say how much is coming from recycle, from reuse, if it's a kind of renewable source. And it's also important that here some words have a very specific meaning. What is recycle? What is reuse? And so there is also there's the possibility to look up the meaning of these words with the tool, how we define them for the calculations. Here is about the circularity of materials, but for instance, if we go about the energy instead, here, as you see here, there is a clarification about what is the definition of this indicator, of these words, and then here for electric energy, you can see how you can it's been asked if there is any electric energy consumed associated to the product, and if there is some renewable energy, if a part of it is renewable energy or other types. Yeah, so this is a very short overview, but here as you see, it's quite comprehensive, but still based on a very simple input-output methodology. Please, Francesco, if you want to continue, or if we want to pass to the next tool.
Yeah, Denisa can probably pass to the next tool.
Alessandro, do you want to continue with the company one, or we can go directly to the city?
I think we can also show quickly the company level. No, so from
yes, go
from here. Okay, so yeah, here again some instructions about the tool that you're going to use. And here there is another little dashboard about which kind of some data about to characterize the company and to have some way to compare the company to similar actors. And so here you see you have the list of indicators, which are divided in core, specific, and rewarding, can be filtered. according to different categories: logistic, product service, waste. And if we look, for instance, at a core indicator, for instance, how sustainable is the packaging that a company is producing for their products. Sometimes some indicators are not applicable to every company, so there is a way to specify this. And so also here you can see there is a way, some terms are defined to understand what every specific word and specific wording refers to. And also here you see there is a very simple input output, let's say two values which give a ratio. So every indicator has the same, almost every indicator has the same type of same structure. And if we want, we can also go maybe to show a result, or we can continue with the
True. Probably, yeah, we can show the result of both the tools because we didn't show the result also of the product.
Yeah, we already have one ready, right? So
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
If you can go to it.
Yes, sure.
Denisa? Yeah.
We can start with the product again.
Yeah. So, okay. So here, for instance, is the result of the product circularity measurement, and you see it's a very intuitive values as percentage based on the formulas that are behind every indicator about the circularity of material, water, packaging, energy, and of course of their revenue. And also can be shown in different type of charts that can be exported. And yeah, so it's the same, very simple concept, but it's effective for this tool, product level tool. And then
Dashboard.
Yes, dashboard again.
Yes.
Okay. And then here, if we go to the
Yes.
company level instead, also here, this is the circularity index coming from the company level, which is an average of these categories that are shown here, that are referred to each of the dimension that we analyze in the company level tool. And also here there are some types of visualizations that are shown as a polar bar, as a polar chart, as a bar chart. And yeah, so also here we can create a PDF, or can also download the data as our Excels, as an Excel file. Yeah. And yeah, please, Lisa, we can go to the city.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. As with other tools, this one opens with the instruction, followed by a series of questions to frame the geographical area of the city, such as the number of inhabitants, the density population, the surface area, and so on. Then we can go on. Here are all the indicators. It is possible to filter the 97 indicators by category or by the type of indicators, so core, primary, or secondary. Each category, okay, these are the categories. Each category has subcategories. For each one, there is at least one core indicator. Briefly, I just want to show you the most important indicator, which is the circular material use rate. This one, which calculates the share of material that is recycled and returned to the economy. At the end of after filling all the indicators, you can save the measurement or send the data. If you send the data, then there will be all the graphs. Okay, so once the necessary indicators have been completed, the result can be displayed. I will show you from here. Yes. With this graphic representation, we wanted to both give the results in terms of a general level of circularity, but also to let you see the results of all the other indicators collected. Now I will show you. So this the first chart shows the circular material use rate, which is the indicator I showed you before. Then there are the scores per category. So each category has an average. Yes, obtained through an average of the completed core indicators. Then a polar area chart to visualize all the results. And at the end, as I told you, there is a table with the primary and secondary indicators in order to have a comparative analysis. So here you can see all the results of the indicators this way. At the end, you can create a PDF with these graphs or download the data, which is an Excel with all the data completed. And you can also reuse the data, starting a new measurement. That's all.
Great. Thank you, Denisa. The sun is a little bit too much today in Milan. Probably I think there coming many questions. I think there was one I replied simply saying that that I was going to reply live, so I will do. So the question was, I'm gonna cover it. Okay, a person was asking how much the standard we talked about UNI is talking with the Corporate Social Responsibility Directive, and the answer is not directly. I would say that the UNI has the focus mainly. The idea was to define a set of indicator to calculate circularity. There was a group of people who worked on it, and the methodology actually came out before the Corporate Social Responsibility Directive, even though there were idea what was coming out. And in general, so when I made the reference to Corporate Social Responsibility Directive, I was focusing more as a general infrastructure, more regarding the product tool, where you have to collect all the data regarding the inflow, the outflow, the material that is recycled, how much of your waste is recyclable. So it's a little bit more the start thinking of it, but is more, so I think in general it's more so the product tool that is more related to the corporate social responsibility, that directly the UNI tool or company tool, like we call it, that is directly correlated. There was also another interesting question that came out regarding that the EMF. So there are different kind of tool, and the MCI is probably not the best tool to measure the circularity at company level, but at the product level can be kind of good, and probably that is the main difference between the MCI and the Circulytics. So the Circulytics is more aligned to a measuring circularity at company level, while the MCI is better for product level. And the other point is regarding, as I said, we are developing another tool. So our tool will be a little bit not really like the Circulytics, but moving. So will be the MCI on top, and we will move more related to the Corporate Social Responsibility Directive to give more connection to that. And this will be the fourth tool we are developing, because as I said, we think that the actual UNI is a great tool to start thinking about circularity, but probably we saw some gaps, and so we want to create this additional tool. Yeah, we do offer training session, and we offer workshop. We offer training section both on the usage of the tool and workshop after the measurement of the the circularity that you can do with the tool. I don't know if there is, in addition to all the questions we are already replying, if someone wants to speak, if you wants to have a question, you can raise your hand. We can also give you the possibility to talk. I think it was interesting already to receive all these questions. I hope I replied to most of them.
Yeah, I also replied to some of them right now.
Okay.
For instance, someone asked if there was already some interest at the level of the city.
City level.
So we just said you can also say, Francesco, but we perform analysis on the city of Taranto in Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first city we are doing it at the moment is Taranto. We did the analysis, material flow analysis, and we actually just finalized the tool 2 weeks ago. And so we want actually to test it on the city of Taranto, where we did the project. And yeah, we are talking with other municipality to a little bit bring all the framework from the material flow analysis plus the indicator. So because we think the best approach would be a hybrid approach, mixing a material flow analysis to all the indicator, no? So giving an idea of how much is circular, so overall, so 6%, 10%, but then also through all the indicators, understanding the areas where you can work and in order to improve in general your circularity, and also to define project to switch to a more circular ecosystem. I see also a few other questions arrived. Everyone is typing. No one wants to talk. I don't know if we will update the tool with the upcoming ISO. Let's see, we will wait for the ISO and we will consider it. Probably it might be possible that one of the uni, we do create 2 type of versions between ISO and uni, so to have the Italian standard and the international standard. Okay. Yeah, so this is a very nice question. So this is where we are working on. So the question is, can you connect between LCA and circularity? And this is something we are actually exploring, because actually the more complete analysis would be to mix the two. So especially at product level, to have an LCA report and a circularity report to have both point of view. And the LCA, of course, can be more on the emission if this is the target. But yeah, this is something we are exploring, and there are connections, so the inputs can be kind of similar. No, can you tell about the translations of the tool? Yeah, this topic, I think, yeah, we are targeting it in a month to have it also in English. So in case international people are interested, we can, in any case, at the beginning, just support you. And then as soon as it's ready, otherwise you just have to wait 1 month. I don't think it's such a long period. Maybe even before. So this is a nice question regarding Enzo Casal.
I was answering to it by writing.
It's a very technical one. You want to answer?
Yeah, exactly. So what I want to say is, so it's true, because of course the recycling rate can vary a lot, even in the national, not between nations, but also inside the same nation at the regional province level. So we left, of course, the possibility to the user of the tool to specify these reuse and recycling rates. So is it possible for the user to, if they know at a local level what is the type of the level, the performance, let's say, of in this sense, it's possible to put it in. But also, if you know that your product is coming from, you are using recycled material for your products, you can input it. But if these data are not available, we use this national level data to have at least a good estimate of the level of circularity. Of course, the better the data, then the better the number. This is normal, and of course, it also will be very try to understand at every city level what is the ratio, what is the recycling levels or reuse levels for every city will be a very very difficult task, but at least we use the national data, which have at least we can start with a benchmark. Yeah, in case there are no data from the user.
Yeah. I hope it was clear. This is was a bit technical question, but I hope you understood the answer. It was a specific point of the tool regarding the product, where it's actually estimating in case the person is not putting the data a recycling rate, but is estimating on the national average at the moment, the Italian one. But otherwise, if you have it, you can input it, and so you can calculate it more precisely. I think we can probably, I'm happy to receive all these questions. I think there was also another one regarding, but also someone, if they want to raise the hands, is also possible. There is a question regarding different kind of languages. At the moment, we are focusing on English. I think mainly we will work on the English one, and then based also on the request, we will evaluate different kind of languages. There is a question regarding, do you have reference data for fashion textile product? Yeah, we do.
In Italy, yeah, in fact, I just
answered. We mainly use it in the fashion and textile, but not only. We are trying different kind of sectors and testing it. And so what we think is the next steps really is a little bit, as I said, to adapt even the tool more to sector level. I think all these tools can be a good base to start thinking about it, but probably every sector can be its own specificities, and so needs a little bit an adaptation. So a tool that is measuring circularity in the food sector cannot be exactly the same as the one using circularity in the textile. And so this is the trend that you can already see, and we also want to focus in the next months to create an adaptation for each sector in order to better analyze the characteristic of each sector. I think I see no more question coming. And I think more or less we replied to all the questions live. So if there are no additional questions, I would thank all the people. And I think Alessandro was replying now to an additional question.
See, but we can, it's okay. I can finish to type when you're closing the webinar if you want.
Yeah, we can even, probably just, in any case, if you have any additional question and you're interested in exploring the tool, you can write to us, info@tondo.tech. I can write it in the chat, and you can write to us if you have any additional question, if you are interested in a demo, interested in exploring more, interested in try with a product, or a company or a business unit, or at municipality level. So we are more than welcome and happy to talk about possibilities. And yes, thank you again for the participation. I hope it was useful for all the people participating. Thank you for your time. And thank you, Alessandro, Denisa, for all the support for the webinar.
Thank you,
Of course,
everyone.
thank you for your attention.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.